is your First Alert 5 weather with Sam Schreier.
Some gnarly looking clouds developing over Pikes Peak and then coming off over Colorado Springs. Now that tells me the atmosphere is trying to get ready to storm. We actually have a couple of those out across the region. This is our camera from our studio at Colorado Springs looking out to the peak, 77 degrees in town. Very humid. On the other side of the mountains, there's not Pikes Peak, but some of the taller terrain off to the east of the city. Still looking kind of cloudy with that temperature of 75 over town. That wind's out of the south at about 5 miles per hour. As we get to Pueblo, still that blue sky. Pueblo, waiting a little bit longer till those clouds start to come off the mountains and get closer to town. Still very muggy out there. In Trinidad, we're seeing that classic orographic lift, we call it. The terrain lifting up and giving the clouds something to spark against. It is currently a lot warmer south of Colorado Springs, from Canyon City to Pueblo out east. The thicker the clouds get, it's going to be tougher for Colorado Springs to get a whole lot warmer, but as I mentioned, we do have more room to grow from Pueblo out to the plains and even by Walsenburg, Trinidad. And our satellite radar, we are filling up the clouds over the mountains first, a little bit left over Springfield. We might get some storms to develop in Baca County. But as we look a little closer, our modeling this morning picked out 2 spots for rain. It started it over the Palmer Divide. We've got that, and it thought, oh yeah, Cheyenne Mountain might be able to develop a little thunderstorm. Have that too, so it tells me we can trust some of the modeling a little bit. And actually, the hour by hour, it's almost completely nailing exactly what happens. A little thunderstorm over the mountain will try to pass through the city. Not much happens, but we'll keep getting some development over Monument Hill, even back into northern Teller County over the next 2 hours. As we get closer to 3 o'clock, 1 to 2 storms develops off of Walsenburg. The Spanish Peaks moves through Walsenburg, also the Raton Mesa. And this storm could definitely be pretty heavy. Heavy rain, lightning, maybe some small hail. That seems to kind of wander south through Los Angeles County, but by 4, we've got storms moving into Colorado Springs. Heavy rain. Hail is possible, although I will say, look at 5 o'clock. The worst of these storms have continuously been in eastern El Paso County in the modeling, and I agree with that. That's where the best energy, both the humidity and the heat, but also the wind shear is best. So Colorado Springs, we need to be aware, but it is better to the east. Now Pueblo, you could get rain, but our models keep splitting the worst of it right around town, which would be fantastic. That would mean no hail, but from 6, 7, 8 o'clock, the worst of these storms are going to fall into the plains along, especially north of Highway 50. A couple big storms right near La Junta this evening, and everything just kind of moves east by 10 o'clock to midnight out east. So in our extended forecast, kept a 3 on the storm impact scale because we could get severe weather in town. The chances just are better to the east. Tomorrow we might end up getting some pretty big storms, but then as the weekend comes around, maybe just kind of more garden variety monsoon-fueled thunderstorms. Pueblo, again, kind of a lower chance of rain now that we've looked at more modeling, but I think if a storm does come to town, it'll want to pour. And then 90s into the weekend. Canyon City, seeing those 80s and 90s through time. Heavy rain is the biggest threat for storms later today. Storms continue well into early part of next week. Finally, Woodland Park, some good thunderstorms. It'd be tough to get them severe, but heavy rain flooding is the thing to watch for.